Not Inside Out 2, Frozen 2, or The Lion King. Ne Zha 2 is the new animated film that has taken the world by storm, with record-breaking box office earnings and a story full of mythology, philosophy, and spectacular action scenes. That's why today, we're bringing you 20 fascinating facts about Ne Zha 2. Many believe that Ne Zha is purely a Chinese figure, but his origins actually trace back to India. His name is a transliteration of the Sanskrit Nalakuvara, a mythological figure in both Buddhism and Hinduism. Over time, Ne Zha became integrated into Chinese mythology, evolving from a guardian deity into a rebellious warrior with fiery wheels. In the investiture of the gods, Ne Zha faces a far more tragic fate than in modern adaptations. After enraging the Dragon King of the Eastern Sea, the king threatens to destroy Ne Zha's family and village. To prevent this, Ne Zha takes his own life as an act of sacrifice, returning his flesh to his mother and his bones to his father as a gesture of redemption. However, his story doesn't end there. His master, Taiyi Zhenren, resurrects him by forging a new body from lotus petals, symbolizing his rebirth as a more powerful and spiritually enlightened being. Ne Zha 2 shattered records, grossing over $1.9 billion and surpassing Inside Out 2 to become the highest-grossing animated film of all time. Projections suggest it may exceed $2 billion, something never before achieved by an animated film. Additionally, with its release in international markets, analysts estimate that Ne Zha 2 could reach, or even surpass, Avatar: The Way of Water's $2.32 billion earnings, potentially making it the third highest-grossing film in history, just behind Avatar and Avengers: Endgame. The production of Ne Zha 2 was a massive undertaking, taking 5 years to complete and requiring the collaboration of 138 animation studios and over 4,000 animators across China. This large-scale effort allowed the film to achieve an unprecedented level of detail and visual quality in Chinese animation. For comparison, Pixar or DreamWorks typically employ between 300 and 500 animators per film, whereas Ne Zha 2 surpassed 4,000 artists. This demonstrates how China's animation industry is growing on an impressive scale, becoming increasingly competitive on a global level. Director Yang Yu, better known as Jiaozi, studied at a prestigious medical school in Chengdu. However, he abandoned his medical career to teach himself animation, eventually going on to direct Ne Zha and its sequel. In Taoist philosophy, yin and yang represent opposing yet complementary forces. In Ne Zha 2, Ne Zha, embodying fire and a rebellious spirit, symbolizes yang, while Ao Bing, the Dragon Prince, represents yin with his connection to water and his calm nature. Beyond Taoism, Ne Zha 2 also incorporates Confucian concepts, such as the importance of family and benevolence. This is reflected in Ne Zha's relationship with his mother and in Ao Bing's sacrifice for his people. For Ne Zha 2, animators used advanced particle simulation technologies, artificial intelligence, and high-precision 3D modeling to create some of the most breathtaking sequences in Chinese animation. Bringing water and fire to life was a colossal challenge. It took months of work to achieve natural-looking reflections, lighting, and movement. Ne Zha's fire, in particular, posed a major challenge. It had to stay vibrant, dynamic, and realistic in every scene, requiring advanced particle simulation for an unprecedented level of detail. Additionally, facial expressions were refined using artificial intelligence, resulting in more natural and detailed gestures and emotions. The battle between Ne Zha and Ao Bing, where they combined their fire and water powers, was a technical nightmare for the animators. This scene alone took over 6 months to complete due to the overwhelming number of visual effects and the high level of detail on screen. One of the most talked-about characters in Ne Zha 2 is Lady Rock, a demon who breaks away from traditional beauty standards in animation. Unlike the typical portrayals of heroines or villains, she boasts an imposing appearance, with rugged features and a robust silhouette that defies industry beauty norms. Her presence in the film has made waves on social media, sparking a movement celebrating her design and the message it conveys. Many praise Lady Rock for representing aesthetic diversity, proving that beauty isn't confined to a single standard. In several scenes of the movie, Ne Zha takes on his three-headed, six-armed form, an homage to one of his oldest depictions in Chinese mythology. This design originates from ancient Buddhist and Taoist paintings, where warrior gods are often portrayed with multiple limbs to symbolize their power and omnipresence in battle. The final battle in Ne Zha 2 is one of the most ambitious ever animated, featuring 200 million characters on screen simultaneously. This epic scene showcases gods, demons, dragons, and armies of aquatic soldiers, all engaged in large-scale combat. To create this sequence, animators employed advanced mass simulation techniques, ensuring that each character had unique movements and real-time reactions, instead of being mere duplicates. This made the scene feel more dynamic and realistic, enhancing immersion in the film's climactic moment. The story of Ne Zha 2 draws inspiration from the novel Fengshen Yanyi, The Investiture of the Gods, written during the Ming Dynasty. This work blends mythology with historical events, narrating the fall of the Shang Dynasty and the rise of the Zhou Dynasty. Yang Yu, the director of Ne Zha 2, wanted every battle to be more than just a visual spectacle. He insisted that each confrontation should embody an internal struggle or a Taoist concept, rather than just being mindless action. Many of the fights are influenced by Taoism, where the battle isn't just against an external enemy, but also against fate, the balance of the universe, and one's inner conflicts. For example, Ne Zha grapples with his own duality between chaos and harmony, a Taoist concept illustrating that true personal growth comes from embracing both sides of oneself. Ne Zha 2 isn't just a box office hit. It has also become a symbol of China's growing cultural confidence. The government and state media have promoted the film as a reflection of the advancement of China's film industry and the power of local animation against Hollywood. Some Chinese companies even held special screenings for their employees, reinforcing the idea that supporting the film was an act of patriotism and national pride. This phenomenon highlights the growing preference for domestic productions and Ne Zha 2's impact beyond the cinema. Ne Zha's origins have sparked an intriguing debate in China, with several cities claiming to be his true birthplace. The main contenders are Tianjin and Chengdu, each presenting cultural and historical arguments to support their connection to the legend. Tianjin claims Ne Zha as its own due to its coastal location and references to Chentang Pass in mythology. Chengdu, on the other hand, argues that Ne Zha 2 was registered there, in addition to being the hometown of the director and the headquarters of the animation studio. The success of Ne Zha 2 has coincided with a growing boycott of Hollywood films in China, reflecting a shift in audience preferences. Films like Captain America 4 have faced harsh criticism on Chinese social media, with increasing calls to support local cinema over Hollywood releases. One of the most memorable lines in Ne Zha 2 is, "My destiny is in my own hands, not in heaven's." This line, inspired by Taoist texts, encapsulates the film's central theme: self-determination and defying a predetermined fate. Ne Zha challenges not only the gods, but also the expectations others have of him, reaffirming that every person has the power to forge their own path. This quote has resonated deeply with audiences and has even become a popular motivational saying in Chinese culture. The fight scenes in Ne Zha 2 have been compared to Dragon Ball Z and Saint Seiya due to their intense action, visual effects, and large-scale battles. Additionally, the animation team drew inspiration from fighting games like Street Fighter and Dragon Ball Z to choreograph the combat, making Ne Zha's movements more dynamic and stylized. Even though Ne Zha 2 was primarily aimed at the Chinese market, it had a strong U.S. debut, grossing $7.2 million in its opening weekend, a record for a Chinese-language film. The ending of Ne Zha 2 includes a post-credits scene hinting at a new adventure. This suggests that the studio is planning to expand this mythological universe with future films. Since the saga is rooted in the investiture of the gods, future films will likely introduce more figures from Chinese mythology. While there haven't been any official announcements yet, The franchise's success makes it almost certain that Ne Zha will return to the big screen. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content about movies and animation. See you in the next video.